Welcome back to the channel, you Kookz. If you followed along last week, we did this half of the van and we showed you how we did it. This week, in this episode, we're going to show you how we constructed all of this welding. And remember, we're Kookz, so this is the first time welding. So we actually enjoyed making the upper cabinets. Usually they're really hard for us, but we noticed that we used a lot less material to create these upper cabinets, and they're on there. Like, I could do some pull-ups on there. So we're gonna show you how we did it. We're gonna get into it right now. Now that we're done with done framing this out and knowing how big it's gonna be, we're going to start building the upper cabinet to go here. We're not sure of the construction yet, but
yeah, so if you're gonna start a van project, just get ready because it's problem solving on the daily. Every day you got a new problem to solve, and it's gonna take a lot of brain power. Okay, we're gonna start the upper cabinets. It's already getting hot here in the Sacramento area. We got our welder ready, our setup is clean, and we're about to cut the front frame out. We got these are gonna hold the bottom from the wall to the cabinet. So here's one. Danny's got the other. We're gonna go test them.
Tack welded right now. We're gonna test them. Yeah.
We're clamping everything down. We put our square on it. Make sure everything is square. So then we clamp it to the table so we can weld it. And it's actually a really nice way to work, to kind of pre-clamp all your furniture together. See how it looks. So we're about to get this cabinet welded. Here's the first cabinet. Turned out pretty nice. It's just got a few arms. It has 8 points of contact. So side, roof, 2 sides, roof, side, and then it will be bolted to our upper cabinet. So now we are going to measure the other upper cabinet. Danny's already in here.
125.
So we got about an inch square pipe here. And it's time to cut and measure. I just cleaned it. It was just a big rust bucket. Hot day here, out here in Central California. I am fishing for some scrap metal for my upper cabinet here. That looks like it. So I'm about to clean this. I'm using a wire brush. It's braided and it's just on a grinder. And when you do this, just let the brushes do the work. Don't push down. I did that on a few brushes and wore them out. So just let the machine do the work. Top cabinet coming together. We're
Getting that angle for the
getting the
legs
angles cut so we can add that on there.
They're almost there, but the angle.
And I got a whole bunch of these.
So right now we're framing out this sink area, and we're trying a new method right now where we're gonna do tape off the area so that we can get the exact measurements. To try and fit, because I think what we're going to try and do is bolt this fridge thing to the bed as well, and then it's also going to like L bracket, if you will, some angle iron to the floor. So that's what our design, and we're gonna draw it all out. We're trying to draw it all out so it makes sense. We really enjoy doing these 45s because when you do the 45s, it's a true measurement. So you'll just measure from whatever you need it to be. It's gonna be 52 3/8 from here to here. Usually you have, if you're like squaring it up and you're using something like this, you'll have to account for this when you subtract that. So this is just a true measurement, so it just makes it super easy. Once you get the 45s down exact, it makes it so much easier. So usually when we make these cuts, because we've made the wrong cuts before, we wanted to go 45 here. So on the other side here, what we do is we mark our line, and we also mark the direction which we want the cut to go, just as a reminder for us when we get over there, so our line doesn't go that way. So then you just line your line up. Like I had my line, and you remember where you mark it. Like mine was down the center of where I needed it, so I need that to go down the center of it. Maybe leave a line on both sides.
Alright, so we messed up, so we got to cut this bar out at 17. The beauty of the metal is you can kind of just chop it out and just fix it however you need. Takes some time, but it's going to hit it with this blade. Danny is finishing all the welding up, and I'm about to paint or prep for paint. So we're gonna clean it with acetone. What you're gonna need is a mask, gloves, and a rag. So I'm just gonna start cleaning it. Here's all the frames Danny welded, looking really nice. Quite a bit of work we got done, so we're now just beginning the paint. We're just going with the black paint. It already looks nice. Side is all fixed in here. It's very sturdy. We got a lot of screws in here because we're gonna have our fridge here. Just a note, all these spacers, you need to make some washers. You want to get that positive connection to the wall, no gap. I added some washers. This doesn't matter, you won't see it. Same deal on this side, 4 washers that I had to just go cut and paint. And it's coming along. Danny approves.
Yeah, you don't want that gap, because the more that you have that gap, the more that everything inside of it will pull it off that wall. So you just want to close the gap.
And we attach all our drawers into our metal framing. Basically screws with the nylocks. And we did that on every unit, so it's looking really nice and clean. So we made these washers because it's really important to get a positive connection here. So that means like the metal hits the wood.
There's no space in between.
With no gap.
Because the gap will be pulling your screw out the whole time if there's a gap.
Upper cabinet attached. Took longer than anticipated.
But it is on there. I'm like really pushing down, and it's...
So whenever you do your cabinets, always, like I said, get that positive connection. You don't want any screws floating or they'll just rip out the wall. Second upper cabinet going in. So I had to make more of these so I could get that positive connection to the van wood frame. And now I switched out all the screws. I went and bought some better ones. So let's do this. It's on, so we got a nice positive connection at every point. These spacers really helped. So that's how it's all connected. I can't believe how much easier it was to do these cabinets out of the steel. It's just kind of, you make an L and then you meet it at the top and bottom. So that was nice. Looks perfect.
Today we installed both the upper cabinets and it looks great. I can't believe we fabricated this. It's all coming together.
Today is the day we're installing all the furniture, and we're going to cut some side pieces from our stencils. But first, we have self-tapping screws here, 2-inch, and we're installing into all of our self-drilled holes. And what we do is we have one person under the van, we check it, we make sure it's safe, and then we drill the hole, and then we'll go back and put lap sealing on all the screws.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode as we put together our upper cabinets and the rest of our kitchen and basically finished all the framing in the van. Join us next week as we show you how we scribe all of our cabinets so that you don't have any air gaps between any of these curves. So we're going to cover all this up and you won't be able to see it so that it's seamless. We're going to show you how we do that. Many stencils, so save all your cardboard. And then we are going to be showing you how we do drawers. Drawers is one of the harder things. Drawers and scribing are some of the hardest things to do. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of detail work. So we're going to show you, we messed up a lot, but we learned a lot on the way of how not to mess up. So we're going to show you how we do it. So don't forget to tune in, guys. As much as we started this build series as a how-to for you all to learn, we've been learning a lot in the process as well. You guys have been commenting a lot on some of the things we could do better or some different techniques that we could try, and we really appreciate that, and I'm sure the viewers that scroll the comments like I do really enjoy those comments as well. It's kind of like cliff notes to van building or something. So thank you guys for sharing all of your knowledge, and thank you guys for liking this video. It really helps others find our video when you like it and you've actually watched to this point. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and be sure to share this video with a fellow van kook that's trying to DIY build their van, because we're trying to make it easy on them and at least give them the courage to start their own van builds after they see us doing it. So we'll see you guys later.